Hi everybody, I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk, and my window's open and I'm gonna go close it. Just in case, 1 second. Okay, much better. Yes, I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. And so in one of my videos about productivity, someone left a comment how they really liked the 5x50 formula. Edward did. Hi Edward! So because of that comment, I'm going to go ahead and do a book review because those are my most popular videos and it's books that have really helped me out a lot as a person. So I'm going to go ahead and do a book review for a book called High Performance Habits, How Extraordinary People Become That Way by Brene Brown. Okay, so because Edward really liked the 5x50 formula, the 5x50 formula is a productivity formula basically created by Brene Brown, and I totally recommend it. Like it totally changed my life for the better, and I can actually say that Brene Brown's materials, his books, his courses, not only did it change my life, I feel like it saved my life. And so I'm going to go into details about that and why I like the book. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, and you're going to be surprised about the 5x50 productivity formula, because actually what Brene Brown teaches in a lot of his things is, as an author, he teaches, he did a course with Oprah, just to help you understand who he is. You can also just Google Brene Brown, but but he teaches actually to take breaks, and not just to take breaks, but to like schedule breaks, which I find really awesome. So all right, so I'm going to talk about why I like this book. So for Edward, for anyone out there, just Google Brene Brown 5x50 formula. It's fantastic. I'm pretty sure it's free. And then so if you like that, I can honestly say that I would recommend all of his materials. I do gotta tell you that some of his stuff is expensive. He's pretty upfront about that. Some of his courses are like thousands of dollars, so I want to be upfront about that, you know. But I gotta tell you too is I kind of get why some of his courses cost that much, because in my opinion, his courses are that good. I would say they're collegiate level. If colleges taught personal development, which I think they should, it's as good as any college class I took when I was in college. In fact, I'd say it's better. So think of it that way, as far as, because I used to think like, hey, it's not like there's classes on how to be a person, right? Well, actually, there's classes on how to be a person. It's called personal development. And also that personal development can be like thought of as a shady thing, I get, but I don't think everyone in personal development is shady. That's my opinion. The other thing I want to say about like these pricey courses is that you sort of have to think of it like a high-end product. But with Brene Brown, he has a return policy. So when I'm thinking like a high-end product like Louis Vuitton, which is like expensive handbags, or designer handbags, or Lamborghinis, luxury cars, in my understanding, those are well made, but I think you can return them if you decide you don't want them. So return policy. But I'm kind of okay with there being high-end products in the world. Like, I'm okay with that. But I get why there's a lot of YouTube channels dedicated to, like, poo-pooing on personal development in general. And I personally can say that personal development completely saved my life. It just did. So I'll be talking about this book and why I think it's a great book. There's a lot of YouTube videos that get way more views and subscribers than I do that poo-poo on, I think one of the more famous personal development people is Rachel Hollis. I have nothing bad to say about her because I bought one of her books on Audible, Girl Wash Your Face. I listened to it. I was like, not my thing. I didn't really feel like I was her target audience, so I was like, I'm good. and that's it. but yeah, there's a lot of channels dedicated to not liking Rachel Hollis, and I don't know. I'm gonna maybe edit this whole section out, because what I can say is, the thing about personal development, it's like, let's say you listen to a song and you don't like the song. That's like saying all music is bad, just because you listen to one bad song. So, and that's just not true. Music is great. But I get like personal development people who I think is great is like Brene Brown, definitely Oprah Winfrey. With her show, I was a kid in the 90s. Her show definitely became personal development straight up. And I love Oprah Winfrey. So, and she's great. So, and really smart and always talking about compassion and empathy. So yeah, I love Oprah Winfrey. And so yeah, personal development completely saved my life. And I had a positive experience with it. But for me, it was through Brene Brown. But for people who've had negative experience with it, that totally sucks. You know what I'm saying? And I want a career in definitely indie filmmaking for sure. But I also want a career in personal development. But if we're talking, let's say, I'll use like a clothing metaphor. So, Neiman Marcus, there's one in downtown San Francisco where I live in the Bay Area. I actually live in Oakland, but Neiman Marcus is like, they sell fancy clothes, which is awesome. So you can go to Neiman Marcus and get some clothes if it's in your budget, or you can go to like Target, you know what I mean, and get some clothes, and it's going to be less expensive. So I'm fine with both stores existing. I don't know. But I've never even walked in the Neiman Marcus, but I'm sure it's great. So, but yeah, I buy clothes at Target, So I'm okay with Neiman Marcus existing. I'm okay with Target existing. I know class stuff is hard to talk about, but what is my point? Oh, my point is, like, I want a career in personal development, but I want to be the target of personal development, not necessarily the Neiman Marcus, because I think a lot of personal development people, their prices are very high, and I want personal development to be more accessible to like all humans. But having said that, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm not even criticizing Rachel Hollis, because like I spent like $14. I gave Rachel Hollis $14 on Audible, and it's just it wasn't my thing. Her book, I was like, oh, this is fine. I think I listened to one of her speeches. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, that was free. It was on a podcast. But the book just wasn't my thing. But what are you gonna do? But I think like one of my favorite YouTubers went all in and spent lots and lots of money on, Rachel Hollis's personal development, and she feels a little, she's actually my favorite YouTuber. She feels a little bamboozled by, or a little hustled by Rachel Hollis. And I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense, because she spent tons and tons of money and she didn't really get any benefits. It actually hurt her. And gosh, I still want to keep it positive. I still don't really want to say anything like negative about anybody, but what I want to say is, like, all I can say is personal development like saved my life and made my life better, and that's what I'll be talking about in this video. But it's just, my understanding is a lot of it's so expensive, and I just think that healthcare or stuff in general should be accessible to everybody. And I don't know. It's kind of fishy, or not fishy. It's just kind of a tough thing to talk about. When I graduated college, I could have used a life coach as soon as I got out of college. But when I did just a little bit of research, like they were like $200 an hour, and how was I going to afford that, you know? So that's the part where I want to be the kind of life coach who's affordable, which I am if you go to my website. So yeah, so again, personal development saved my life. I'm going to be saying positive stuff about personal development and about the book High Performance Habits. So this video is going to be positive, so viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so the way Brene Brown came into my life, I really feel like God, oh, by the way, I'm a lesbian. Whatever. You can watch the videos about that. What's that? Can I Google it? Sure, you can Google it. Anyway, I'm a lesbian. I also happen to go to a gay affirming church, blah, blah, blah. You can Google that. Gay affirming, they don't believe homosexuality is a sin, blah, blah, blah. I'm a lesbian and go to church. I've made tons of videos about that. Why do I talk about that? Oh, right, because I'm going to be saying the word God in a positive way. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm going to be positive on YouTube. Scary, just kidding. Okay, so I really feel like God brought Brene Brown into my life, and that is to say, I was at a party, I think it was 2017, I was at a party, and one of the greatest human beings I know, my brother-in-law, he was like, Julie, you should check out this really cool, like, test thingy, like, check it out. And it was basically... It was some sort of thing from Brene Brown about how to know if you're a high performer and stuff like that. So I took the test. I joined Brene Brown's email list. I got the results. I listened to his videos. I really liked what he had to say. I straight up bought his courses, used a credit card, but I straight up took his courses. I bought the book, $7. I got the book for $7. Like I said, his stuff completely saved my life. You know what I mean? I can honestly say that. So all right. That was a long disclaimer, but okay. So why do I like the book? Why do I like High Performance Habits? Okay. The thing I like about High Performance Habits, how extraordinary people become that way is, okay, so once you buy the book, gotta buy the book. Once you buy the book, the habits are free. So the habits don't cost any money. Like I can't teach from the book, but it's High Performance Habits, how extraordinary people become that way. And I'll just briefly, because it's literally on the cover. It says clarity, energy, necessity, productivity, influence, and courage. So his like theory, but he actually researched it. So he researched for many years. That's the other thing I like about his products is like he's not a hack. That's what I wanted to say. He's really not a hack. Like everything he puts out, he cares about it being good. And that's the thing. It's a high-end product. It's Neiman Marcus, but it's like a good product. So that is to say, with this book, what he did was he researched people who were doing well in life. And I want to explain like what a high performer is. And because all of a sudden I had a word for this sort of theory I had already, but people in my life who I would consider extraordinary. And it has nothing to do with how much money they make. It doesn't, because I've met rich people who are extraordinary, and I've met rich people who are, because they're people. So all of a sudden, or even my tech friends, all my tech friends, because I live in the Bay Area, and tech is huge out here. Some of my tech friends I really gravitate to because they're just so cool and extraordinary and interesting and awesome people. And some of my tech friends not so much. So I was like, what is it? Like, why are these people really amazing? And why are these people, they're like fine, but not my cup of tea. And once he said high performers, I was like, that's it. I'm drawn to the high performers in my life. And I can honestly say too, and I say this with love, that I had to switch churches. So most of the churches in the Bay Area are gay affirming. I'm not trying to open any kind of can of worms. You can go to my channel, you'll see where I stand. I'm very pro-lesbian or bisexual or women who like women under any circumstances. I'm pro everybody being awesome. I'm pro everything, I'm pro love, la la la. Okay, but all of a sudden I had a word. Oh yeah, I had to switch churches because honestly, with all the love in the world, it wasn't a high performance church. I know. And what does that mean? Versus I've started going to a new church and it is a high performance church. They're very high performance when it comes to promoting a message of love and joy and compassion, all the good stuff in life. And so all of a sudden I had a word for why I'm drawn to certain people in the world. And it's high performance. And high performance has nothing to do with how much money you make. Because I grew up, for all intents and purposes, I grew up poor. So I used to think for some reason all rich people were magic. and then I moved to the Bay Area and I was like, and I started working for some of these rich people. And I was like, no. Not all rich people are magic. So some rich people are extraordinary and some rich people aren't because whatevs, you know what I mean? So that is to say, some people, they're just born with generational wealth. Some people are not, la la la. But okay, extraordinary people are people who are doing well in life. And it doesn't matter what their salary is, but it's people who are doing well in life. And it's not just that they're doing well as far as like they're happy with their jobs, but it's also like they're happy with who they are. They're happy with what they're doing in life. They're generous, they're empathetic, they're kind. They want to make the world a better place. They want to solve all the problems of the world. They're very like kumbaya, but not in a cheesy kind of way. But I like kumbaya and I like cheese. So, but it's people who just like are pretty well-rounded. And yeah, high performers can be very wealthy. High performers can make 5 figures, like, which is what I make. But but even when I go to the coffee shop, and I say this with love, but when I go to the coffee shop, and I mean, I love everybody, and the coffee shop is the happy place for me. So I'm not in a hurry, or, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, whatevs. But even at a coffee shop, or even at Burger King, I went to Burger King a couple of days ago, and the cashier was a high performer. She was just, the customer service at Burger King a couple weeks ago in Emeryville was outstanding. I was like, what is this? Like, it felt like a fancy schmancy restaurant, but it was Burger King. I wanted to email Burger King and be like, yo, customer service is outstanding at the Burger King in Emeryville. If anyone's watching from Burger King executives, like, give them big giant Christmas bonuses, because okay, so high performers at the Burger King in Emeryville, high performers are everywhere. And when I go to the coffee shop, it's like, oh, this barista is a high performer. Or it was a way for me to it's just people doing well in life in their own way. And I don't know. So, okay, which is why I do recommend the book as far as understanding what a high performer is. Excuse me. But a high performer is someone who's doing well in life. They're happy in their lives, and they want to make the world a better place. They tend to have pretty healthy relationships overall. And when I read it, I was it's just high performers who are well-rounded and doing well in life and overall. And I think that I just really liked it. And it's people who are living extraordinary lives. And again, that doesn't mean they're fancy schmancy. It just means they wake up every day and they're like, today will be extraordinary. even if their day is something simple or little. Today for me was an extraordinary day because it's Saturday, and I did my favorite thing. I went to a coffee shop. I journaled, I read, I drank some coffee. Today was extraordinary. And so, yeah, I want to live an extraordinary life. I do live an extraordinary life, and I'm just like a regular person. But the choice to be extraordinary. So, yeah, to sum it up, high performers are people who are extraordinary. And I gotta tell you, extraordinary people are walking around. They're everywhere. Extraordinary people are everywhere. Okay, so, but these habits, once you get the book, they're free. They don't cost you any money. All you need is pen and paper, and you can start engaging with these habits and learning how to be extraordinary. By the way, this is not sponsored. I'm saying all of this for free. So you can trust me. Okay, so yeah, and I started engaging with these habits, and like I said, I can honestly say that his stuff really saved my life. And because I was happier, my relationships improved. I got better jobs. You know, I talk about it in a lot of my videos. I won't go into details, but because, for all intents and purposes, I grew up in an abusive home and had an abusive father. Eventually, because I got into personal development, eventually I did go to therapy. And I've gone into counseling and therapy off and on since I was in college. So I totally recommend therapy. It's awesome. But I also recommend personal development and life coaches. Although I've never had a life coach. I can't afford them. They're too expensive. Okay, so but I still recommend life coaches. By the way, I'm really affordable if you go to my website, and you can just email me. There's definitely a sliding scale if you want to work with me as far as me being your life coach. Total sliding scale. Okay, and I'm not that expensive in the first place. Okay, but okay, so yeah, High Performance Habits is a great book. The habits are free. The other thing I like about the habits and the 5x50 formula and a lot of what Brene Brown teaches is that the habits are simple. They're pretty simple. So the tactics they're easy to do, like the 5-move plan on how to, I think he calls it 5 moves. Yeah, it's a plan on how to finish projects. A lot of it's simple. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to understand what he's saying. So I like how simple the habits are because they're easy to follow. The 5x50 formula is super easy to follow. And so, like I said, these habits are easy to follow. And it's almost like can something that simple work? Yes, something that simple does work, because the more I did the habits, the more extraordinary my life became. And my life's already been extraordinary, but I don't know, like he taught me, his books taught me how to be happy like now. And I kept thinking, oh, I'll be happy when this happens. I'll be happy when that happens. I'll be happy when this happens. And that's just not true. He teaches how to be happy right now, today, right now, which is super important because we all get big moments in life where all of us might one day, whatever our career goals are, but all of us might one day buy a house or win an Oscar or get a PhD, like whatever our things are, or I mean, it doesn't even, or own our own coffee shop, you know, whatever our goals are, or even just if your goal is, and this is an extraordinary goal, but if your goal is to be the best mother or father in the world, that is the best goal in the world, you know what I mean? Or if your goal is to be an amazing nurse or social worker or whatever your thing is, but I know like his stuff teaches, you know, it's healthy, ambition's good for your mental health, all those things are good for you, but he teaches how to be happy now. And he also, what the book explains is why why if I got to a place where I was making the salary that I was happy with, and I was still like not happy. And you can go through all my stuff because Steven Pressfield did a book called The War of Art, which totally explains also philosophically why you don't feel happy. I know the calling in my life is making movies, being an indie filmmaker. Like, that's the calling. So when I'm feeling sad, I know I have to sit down and write a screenplay, or usually a screenplay, or write a song. What's my point? Anyway, my point is just that this book helped me understand, like, once I was making a salary I was happy at, and again, it was still like 5 figures, not on the high end, but still, and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, where people, in my opinion, a certain kind of person can be kind of snooty about how much money people make. There's more snootiness in the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't remember snootiness in small town Virginia, where I grew up. So the snootiness I had to get used to. And Julie no likey. I don't like the snootiness. Okay, but it's all good. There are down to earth nice people in San Francisco, the Bay Area. Okay. But okay, my point is, like, what the book helped me understand was, okay, I'm making a salary that I like. Why am I still unhappy? You know, how can I be happy now? Right now. And the book helped me do that. And it was kind of the first step on, the other thing I had to do for therapy was learn about trauma, healing my trauma, and why I was making really bad romantic decisions. Okay, humor is a coping mechanism for me, but I was making not great romantic decisions, and I had to go to therapy. I was picking the wrong women, people. I was picking the wrong women. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I had to heal my trauma so that I choose to date healthy women, etc., and then I have to be healthy, blah, blah, blah. I learned all that through therapy. Okay, so, but the habits in the book, they're simple habits. You know, it's not rocket science. And so it's so simple, it works, at least for me. So that's why I totally recommend the book. Okay, and there's tactics in the book. Okay. Simple. Oh, right. And I've already said this, but the third reason I really like the book is the habits work. And so, and I can't really like teach from the book. So you're like, oh, I would just, and honestly, it's been a minute since I read it. So I couldn't teach from the book even if I wanted to, because it's been a while since I've read it, but I've already implemented like everything I learned in the book. And I've been implementing it for years, so now it's just sort of second nature. But yeah, for me, the habits in the book worked. They totally worked for me. Yeah, my life is totally completely changed because of high performance habits. So the book is High Performance Habits: How Extraordinary People Become That Way, and it's basically teaching you how to become extraordinary on every level, like legit. And I can, like I said, Brene Brown's stuff like completely saved my life. Because of Brene Brown, like, I read this book, What Color's Your Parachute 2020. I made that video. That's my most popular video on YouTube. And that, I mean, this worked for me. I got better jobs. So all jobs are good jobs. I don't want to come across snooty, but like, just, you know what I mean by better. And if you're watching this, whoever you are, my first job was cashier at Burger King. I was a caregiver for many years. So, you know, and that's where God wanted me to be, in my opinion. So it's all good. It's all good. But I guess I just want to say, like, you know, if you're not quite where you want to be in life, that's okay. One, I want you to find a way to be happy now. But two, if you read the book, you can come up with a 5-move plan to make some changes in your life. I do believe in my heart of hearts, God, the universe, pick whatever word, any word you'd like, but I do believe in my heart of hearts that I'm just gonna say the word God in a positive way. And God loves gay people. God loves me. God's totally okay with the fact that I'm gay. Okay, that's my belief system. But anyway, I truly believe that God wants you to be happy and to live an extraordinary life. So I want you to keep the faith. If you feel like it, you can read the book, High Performance Habits, because I want you to be living an extraordinary life. I want you to heal your trauma. I want you to surround yourself with extraordinary people because you deserve to live an extraordinary life and you deserve to feel happy right now. And so one step in that direction is reading this book. No one's paying me to say that. So, and then you can go to my YouTube channel, podcast, all of the things, if you want more tips on stuff that at least has worked for me, because you deserve to live an extraordinary life. If you're watching this, you totally do. We all do, right? We're all in this together. High School Musical reference, I don't know. But we all deserve to be living this extraordinary life and making the world even more extraordinary, right? Okay, so the other thing I'll just go ahead and tell you is just when I like something like MXPX is one of my favorite pop punk bands. Love MXPX, so I have a bunch of MXPX. Yeah, they're I'm fumbling on them. MXPX. I have a bunch of MXPX swag. They're the reason I started playing guitar. So yeah, I have a lot of Brene Brown stuff. His stuff saved my life. I don't know what to say. Okay. And I went to one of his conferences, a marketing conference, and everyone there was amazing. That's a different video, but y'all, oh my gosh. Because the marketing conference, sure, it's different marketing tactics, la la la. But it's also but it was people where their businesses were all about helping people. Like the whole point of their businesses was to help people as much as possible. So every single person I interacted with at that marketing conference was kind and caring, and I was rubbing elbows with millionaires, and they were so gracious and kind and sweet and extraordinary and humble, and it was awesome. Okay, so I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna show you the Brene Brown swag I have because his stuff it truly did save my life. Okay. So this is a planner, high performance planner. I love this thing. I use this to look for better jobs. So this planner is really great. It's called the High Performance Planner. I like it. Oh, and that's the other thing. He said in his video, he researched this planner for 3 years because he's a nerd. I love him. I'm a nerd too. So he researched this planner for 3 years to before he released it. So everything he puts out is good quality. But like I said, he is kind of the Neiman Marcus of, that's the main thing. His some of the stuff is pricey. I want to be honest about that. Okay, but his stuff's really good. Okay, so the other thing, this book's really good. The Charge, Activating the 10 Human Drives That Make You Feel Alive by Brene Brown. Again, this is tactics. And what's really amazing is he teaches take lots of breaks, schedule in lots of breaks, which actually makes you more productive. Who would have thought? So he doesn't teach hustle culture. He doesn't teach hustle culture. He teaches, he does teach ambition. He does teach following your dreams, but the best way to follow your dreams is take more breaks. I know. Okay, so, let's see. All right, so, yeah, and then he sent me 2 books that are autographed, so that's pretty cool. This one's autographed. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is the Motivation Manifesto. It's a really good book, and he autographed this copy. No, it's the wrong book. Where'd it go? Okay, he autographed this copy. There it is. Okay, and then the other thing I want to say is, I like swag. So I own 3 copies of the Motivation Manifesto. I know that's totally bananas, but that's because he sent me one autographed and another one came in a bundle. Okay, and then also he sent me this, so for free. So that was cool. Yeah, so I don't know, I think, like I said, I think there are personal development people who are awesome, or I don't know, Glennon Doyle, Seems cool. Brene Brown, she has a series on HBO Max. That's really great. And she has a thing on Netflix. I like Brene Brown. But the thing about personal development too, that's just the fancy word for it. But like you could say like Maya Angelou, and not to be controversial, but you could say even, oh, I hope this isn't like controversial, but you could even say in a way like Jesus Christ or Buddha, or in any of the major religions. I mean, you could say they were like personal development, but deeper, because as someone who identifies as a devout Christian, like, you know, Jesus is way more than a personal development dude. For people who identify as Christians. So not trying to convert you to Christianity, just trying to convert you to love and living an extraordinary life, whatever that is for you. So I deeply believe in interfaith and being respectful of everybody's everything. Okay, but yeah, I can just say like I said, personal development completely saved my life. Brene Brown overall seems like a good person. So I totally recommend the book. Yeah, I totally recommend High Performance Habits, How Extraordinary People Will Become That Way. And yeah, and after I read this book, like, people who are extraordinary, one of my best friends, a couple of my best friends, my little sister, my brother-in-law, my older sister, my older brother-in-law, because I got an older and a younger sister, you know, and I don't know, I just, all of a sudden I had a word for people who are just extraordinary. And extraordinary people are everywhere. So, yeah. I totally recommend High Performance Habits, How Extraordinary People Become That Way. It's a really great book. And yeah, if you're watching this, I want you to dream big. And while you're dreaming big, I want you to be happy now. Because you can read the book, 5x50 Formula. That really helped me out a lot. If you have any questions specifically, feel free to post them down below. But I'm happy now. I was happy today. My life was extraordinary today. And yeah, I hope I make it as a filmmaker. Yeah, like, I'd love to make movies that end up in theaters and make people laugh and happy. For sure. I'd love for all those dreams to come true. And yesterday I was writing a screenplay, so I'm still doing the filmmaking thing, absolutely. I also have a day job. I like my day job, and that's not bad. I like my day job. It's not the dream, but it sure is paying for the dream right now as I pursue filmmaking. So, but I like my job, and I'm learning a lot at my job. So, very grateful for my day job. So, but, for sure, I'm ambitious. I want my dreams to come true and all of those things. But while I'm doing that, yeah, I want to be happy now. And today, it was an extraordinary day. And it was pretty simple and chill. So, oh, and I had a really good cookie. It was a lemon cookie. But it's just the extraordinary things that happen today. Most of the extraordinary things that happen, it's the little things, you know what I mean? We all get these big moments, but the little moments are pretty extraordinary too. And I hope we can all be appreciative of all the teeny tiny little extraordinary things that happen every day. So, while still acknowledging that, the pain and trauma in the world as well, and healing our own traumas. Okay, so I totally recommend that book, and yeah, I want you to be happy now and live extraordinarily now, while at the same time, for sure, ambition is really good for your mental health. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. Thanks so much. Bye. Hi, I thought my roommate was coming home. She's awesome. Okay, but what I just wanted to say, go out there, be awesome, live an extraordinary life. Totally read the book if you want to, no pressure. But and follow your dreams. Be happy now and follow your dreams also. And heal your trauma and all of the things. Be awesome. I hope you had the best day ever. I'm Julie Kerr, writer and director of the indie nerdy comedy Geek Loves Punk. You can totally check out my website. And thank you so much. Have the best day ever.